dugsiyada Nuruddin Schools.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. This is ABDISALAM with a new lesson. IKHWANI with a new lesson. I hope we are in a very good mood and a very good health. Alhamdulillah. Today we are going to study tenses. Why are we learning and studying tenses? Why? Why are we studying tenses today? Why? Because some of the students really requested from me to teach passive voice. So if you want to understand passive very well, you must first understand the active voice. Okay, the active, right? The active voice. So today we are going to master the first tense, how it works when it's an active and when it's a passive. But first let's quickly understand the tense as a general. Okay, this is the name of the tense, the present continuous, right? You can also call it present progressive. The word progressive is said by the Americans, but if you see in some books, they write continuous, and in the other, they write progressive. So you can either say present continuous or present progressive. Okay, look. Look at this example, please. Umar is in his car. Okay. All right. Umar is in his car. He is in his way to work. So what is he doing? He is driving to work. So we use present continuous tense. This means he's driving now. At the time of speaking, we use present continuous tense at the time of speaking. So I say, Umar, where are you? And then someone talked to me and said, he's driving a car. Or he said he's having a lunch. Or maybe he will say he's speaking on the phone, right? During that time I'm talking, the action itself is going on. So we use present continuous tense, an action that is happening at the moment of speaking. This is a present continuous tense. Okay. Fine. Look. Look, please. These are the uses of present continuous tense. Fine. The uses of present continuous tense. Okay. We use present continuous tense. We can call it present continuous or present progressive, as I said earlier. This is the form. Normally, present continuous tense has how many? It has the verb to be, am, is, are, and the verb plus ing. But inshallah, we need to know forming the ing. We need to know forming the ing. We need to know the rules of forming the ing. Inshallah, the next class. Right. This will be the next class, inshallah. Fine. So look. We use present continuous tense. The form could be am, is, are. I can have am. While is takes he, she, and it. But we, you, and they take, are. Okay, that's the very basic. I think every student knows this. But this will be a little reminder. Okay, fine. But you need to know this, because this is very important. Okay, when do we use present continuous tense? A very important question. Okay. We use present continuous tense and action that are happening now, and action that are temporary. And finally, we use for future plans. Look this, please. We use present continuous tense for what? Action that's happening now, or actions that are temporary, and we use for future plans. This is the use of present continuous tense. Look, these examples. When it comes to action that are happening now, this is the example. She is cooking in the kitchen. The action is happening at the time you are speaking, because the action is happening now. Where is Halima? Where is Umar? He's cooking the lunch. He's cooking the lunch. The minute you are talking, the action itself is happening. We also use present continuous tense and action that are temporary. Like, they are staying in London for a few days. They are staying in London for a few days. Or you can say they are staying in Bur'a for a few days. The action is temporary. They will stay in Bur'a for a few days and then they will come back. So whenever you want to make a sentence that's talking about a temporary action, you use present continuous tense. Like what? They are staying in London for a few days. And finally, we use present continuous tense for actions for future plans. For example, I am going hiking tomorrow. Or you can say, I am visiting my grandmother tomorrow. I am visiting my grandmother tomorrow. So please keep these things in mind. Number one, present continuous tenses are used, an action that's happening now, and an action that are temporary, and finally for future plans. If you keep that thing in mind, then the rest will be easy. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. The form of present continuous tense. This must be very simple. Okay, this is the form. This is the verb to be. We use present continuous tense, as I said earlier, the verb to be. We used to divide the verb into two. We used to divide into two main parties. The auxiliary verb and the main verb. The auxiliary verb we used to divide into two. The transitive verb and the intransitive. And the main verb and the auxiliary verb we used to divide into two. The primary auxiliary verb and the modal auxiliary verb. So please don't forget that in present continuous tense we use the verb to be. But please, do you remember what was the verb to be? The verb to be was am, is, are. We used to divide the auxiliary into three. The primary auxiliary verbs we used to divide into three. The verb be, the verb have, and the verb to do. So in present continuous tense we use the verb to be. So what was verb to be? The verb to be was what? Am. And then what? Is. And then what? Are. Don't forget that, please. But in passive, you add simply being. This. You are simply being. And in passive, the subject of your passive, of your active voice becomes the object of your passive. And the object of your passive becomes the subject of your active voice. The sentence changes automatically, vice versa. Let's take a look, one example of active and passive. If I say, I am eating my lunch. If I say I'm eating my lunch. In passive, the object of your active voice, this is the object, and this must be the verb, and this must be the subject. Right. In passive, the object of your active voice becomes the subject of your passive voice. So you say what? My lunch is eaten. So by who? By me. My lunch is eaten by me. So in passive, the object of your active voice becomes the subject of your passive voice. And normally don't forget that in passive, we add the verb to be, this present participle verb, being. Okay, you are that in passive. Okay, and this must be the form. I am eating. But in short, You say am, because this must be contracted. This is contracted. Okay, it's contracted. It's contracted. Okay, so when it's contracted, you use the apostrophe here and what? And then m. So you say am. Or you can use the long form like you and we are. This is what I have mentioned it earlier. Let's go here. Fine. They, this is contracted. This is what? This is contracted. And then what? This is the long form. She is. And this must be the short form. They are. You write like that. And then apostrophe right here. Apostrophe on the top. Okay. And this is the short form. And this what? The long form. Okay. Not contracted, contracted. Okay. These are the interrogative form. This is the interrogative form. Am I eating? Am I eating? It's a question. Are you eating? It's a question. Are we eating? Are you eating? Are they eating? These are all questions. Is she eating? Is he eating? Is it eating? These are all what? Questions. So you normally, when we are making an interrogative sentence, we put the auxiliary verb the front of the sentence. The front of the sentence. Like, am I? Like what? Am I? Or is he? Sorry. Or is he? Or what? Is he? Or is she? Or is she? We put always the auxiliary verb at the front of the sentence. When you are asking a question, is she eating a food? Is he eating a food? Are they eating a food? You say like that. Okay, and this must be the negative. When it comes to negative, you say, I'm not eating. I'm not eating. You say what? I'm not eating. Or you say, you're not eating. Or you say, they aren't eating. This must be the short form. This must be what? This must be the short form. This must be the short form. Or simply you can say contracted form. Okay, the contracted form. Okay, isn't, aren't, am I not? Okay, in present continuous tense has rules. So don't forget the rules. Okay, let's go back here. Okay. No, wait. So look, the use of present continuous tense. Let's take a look at another use here. The use of present continuous tense. Okay. The present continuous tense is used to talk about what? Actions happening at the moment of speaking, as I said earlier. Now I'm speaking English and you are hearing me. You can hear my voice now and I'm speaking because the action I'm doing is happening at the moment of speaking. I'm speaking and what I'm doing is I'm speaking, I'm talking, I'm walking, right? The action is happening right now. So we use present continuous tense, an action that's happening at the moment of speaking. These are more examples. Okay, where is Mary? She's having a bath. Where is Mary? She's having a bath. What are they doing at the moment? In front of your screen. Don't you know you are reading this lesson? You are learning English. The present continuous tense can be used when the action is what? When the action has started but hasn't finished. Like I said earlier, I'm reading a book. You are reading the book, but the action is not finished yet. It's a nice book. Means I am not necessarily reading it. I started reading, but I haven't what? Finished it yet. Okay. Okay. The present, there are verbs which are normally used in the present continuous. There are verbs which are normally not used in present continuous tense. These are known as what? The stative verbs. The stative verbs. These verbs are not used in present continuous tense. They are known as what? The stative verbs. Let's take these verbs now one by one. Be. You cannot say I am being. Or believe. You cannot add ing. But please remember that English language is a very flexible language. sometimes you will see the verbs I'm telling you, they don't take the ing form. You will see in some books they do take the ing form. So don't forget that English language is a very flexible language. Belong, and then what? Hate, and what? Hear, like, laugh, mean, prefer, remain, realize, see, smell, think, understand, want, wish. They don't normally take the ing form. Okay, I will show you a table right here all about the stative verbs. Okay, these are the stative verbs. They don't take the ing form. But please keep one thing in mind. English language is a very flexible language. These verbs I'm now telling you, and I told you they don't take what? They don't take the ing form. Then normally you will see some of them taking the ing form. So don't forget that English language is a very flexible language. Let's take a look. Verbs that are known as the possession verbs, like have, own, possess, the word pack, and then this one, consist, involve, include, contain. They don't normally take the ing form. And these are known the senses. All right. So sound, hear, smell, see, look, taste, touch, feed. They don't take ing form. And here we got another verbs. Those are known the emotion verbs. The emotions, they don't take ing as well. Love, like, dislike, hate, adore, prefer, care, mind, want, and finally appreciate. They don't also take the ing form. We also have another ones like the word need, desire, wish, hope, value. And these are known as what? The mental state. They don't take the ing form, like know, believe, doubt, think, suppose, recognize, forget, remember, imagine, mean, agree, and finally understand. They don't also take the ing form. They are known as what? The stative verb. We got another ones: disagree, deny, promise, satisfy, realize, appear, I think it's astonish, please, improve, let's say impress, surprise, and finally consent. They don't take the ing form as well. And we got also another ones. These are known as what? The others. They don't take the ing form, like cost, measure, weight, wear, owe, seem, fit, depend, and finally this one, matter. They don't take the ing form. Okay, so guys, please, I wanna tell you something that can make you understand what is the difference between active and passive voice. Normally in English, look, there are at least 12 tenses. Okay, these 12 tenses you can either make active or passive. Some of them do become active and some of them do not. But normally we make the passive in 8 tenses. So look, if I am going to make a present continuous tense passive voice, all I have to do is this. Look, this is a present continuous tense. Okay, present continuous. Present continuous. Okay, present continuous. This is a present continuous tense. For example, if you are asked to make a passive sentence about present continuous tense, a teacher maybe wrote this and he said, I want you students change this active sentence into a passive. It's a present continuous tense. Let's take a look at this one. Maybe it is she eats, for example, fish. She eats fish. A teacher wrote, no, he wrote this, no. Let's, she is eating For example, let's say a candy, or normally, as I said earlier, bread or cake. She is eating a cake. If I said she is eating a cake, maybe a teacher asked you and said, I want you to change this into a passive sentence. Simply, all you have to do is to take the object of your sentence becomes the subject of your passive voice. Look, you said a cake. You said a cake. A cake. When you are here, ask yourself, is a cake a singular or a plural? Is a cake a singular or a plural? And then you said, look, is a singular. Is, and then in passive, don't forget the auxiliary of passive voice. Don't forget, please, wait, sorry. Don't forget the auxiliary of passive voice, please. The auxiliary of passive voice becomes this. The auxiliary verbs in passive becomes this. Is, and are, plus been. Okay, plus been. So we have an extra present participle verb to be. So look, a cake is been. You add what? Is been what? And normally in passive voice, all you have to do is to make all verbs past participle. Now I have a present participle verb. But in passive, you have to change all the present participle verbs into a past participle verb. So I'm asking you, please, can you tell me the past participle verb of the verb eating? I hope it is what? Eaten. Right, eaten. If you don't memorize the conjugation of the verbs, then you will come up with some challenges about the active and passive. But first, you have to memorize the regular and irregular verbs. All you have to do is to memorize the verb change, the conjugation of the verbs. So what I wrote here is what? A cake is being eaten. When I'm here, I need to add the object. Here I got the subject of my active voice. The subject of my active voice becomes the object of my passive voice. And then I said what? So what is the object of she? The object of she becomes what? Her. So I have to use the by phrase. The by phrase. When I'm here, I have to use the by phrase and said what? By her. By her. You can leave it. It's not a problem if you leave it. But certain teachers will always like you to write the by phrase. So you have to complete the sentence, right? And said a cake is being eaten by her. One very good thing I want to remind you, my dear. In passive, all verbs, remember this please, in passive, all verbs become past participle like I wrote here. If you are changing present continuous tense to passive voice, don't forget that all verbs become past participle verb. So in passive, we only have two changes. The auxiliary verb and the main verb. The auxiliary verb and the main verb. There's no other place that can change. In passive, all you have to think about is to change your auxiliary verb and the passive voice and the main verb. Look, let me remind you one thing, please. Look, let me remind you one thing. Present continuous tense has how many auxiliary verbs? Is, are. But in passive, it has what? Is, are plus being. Simple present tense has what? Two auxiliary verbs. One is an active voice. Do and does. But in passive, we change that do and does into what? Is, are. Simple past tense has how many auxiliary verbs? It has only one auxiliary verb, did. But remember, in passive voice, the word did becomes what? Was and were. Simple future tense. What? We used to have shall and will, the active voice. But in passive, shall and will is added what? Be. Past continuous tense has what? It used to have was and were. But in passive, we add what? Was and were plus being. Present participle. You see, the verb to be present participle. Present perfect. Present perfect tense has how many auxiliaries in active voice? Have and has. But in passive we add what? Being. The verb to be past participle. See? Being. This being. You see? That being. There's two. Being and being. Present perfect has how many auxiliaries in active? Have and has. But in passive it has what? Have and has plus being. Let's take a look. Past perfect. It has how many auxiliaries? One. Had in active. But in passive what? Had plus this being. How many tenses I have listed? Present continuous tense, present simple, past simple, simple future, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, and finally I came to what? Future perfect. Future perfect has how many auxiliary verbs when it's an active? It has what? Shall and will. No. Future perfect has what? Shall, will, and have. Shall, will, and have. Shall, will, and have. So in passive, you add that shall and will and have plus this being. How many tenses I have? Present continuous tense, simple present tense, simple past tense, simple future tense, past continuous tense, present perfect tense, past perfect tense, and future perfect. These 8 tenses are the basic tenses that you will be asked in many exam papers. So please, you guys remember today that we were only studying present continuous tense. The next classes, inshallah, we will master and study the rest of other tenses, how you can make it active and how you can make it passive. Okay, inshallah. Let's quickly write one simple question to challenge you. This must be the example. Okay. All right, I will write one example here, and I want you please answer that example. I'll give you a second, and you have to try to answer this. Okay, look, I wrote this. He, look, is what? He is what? He is speaking. He is speaking. He is speaking English. I wrote he is speaking English here. If you are asked to change this active he is speaking English, how will you answer this? He is speaking English. What are we doing? Number one, we have to change the main verb. And then what? The auxiliary verb. In passive, these 2 places only change. So what I will say? The object of my active voice becomes the subject of my what? Of my passive voice. So what I will do? I will say English. Let's take a look this one. I will say English. Look, English. And then English is a singular or plural? English is a singular. Is, yes. English is. And then what? The verb to be present participle. Being. And then what? We have to change the verb and say what? Is spoken. I told you guys, you have to always memorize the conjugation of the rules which we call regular and irregular verbs. English is being spoken by who? By him. That comes to the end of our class today. This is IKHWANI. I hope you, inshallah, a very bright future. And please, students, memorize, revise your lessons every day till we go back to our normal classes. I hope everyone is healthy. Assalamu alaikum.